I don't know. I didn't really know what to expect. It kind of happened. A lot of stuff happened really quick, and kind of left me trying to figure out what was what, and what side was up. So there was a period there where just the transition was difficult, and figuring out, all right, like, so what's the next step? Obviously, like, I'm a pro wrestler, so there's always going to be opportunities to do that, but I didn't know exactly what the opportunities would look like. And again, Adrian Monero was one of the first guys to reach out in Australia, which for me, again, I hadn't been there in a decade, and I love Australia. So, and then really once people knew that I was available to start taking bookings, my inbox just started becoming flooded and from all these places around the world, and that's when I realized, like, holy cow, like, the landscape's a lot different than when I went there. When I went to WWE, like, it's changed so much just in a few years. And obviously, like, and that platform helped raise my stock. Like, there's no debating that, right? Like, my time there was wonderful and did so much for me, and I'm grateful for it. And I think it was exactly what it was supposed to be. And a lot of people are like, oh, they treated you so bad and it was awful. And I go, listen, in 18 months, I went from, like, kind of an NXT afterthought to get an opportunity to be a commentator on Monday Night Raw, to wrestling on Monday Night Raw and pay-per-views, to WrestleMania. I did that in 18 months. Like, that's a pretty good year and a half for a guy who I don't think any of that was really planned for. So I got exactly what I needed out of my time there. I'm grateful for it. And on the other side now, I'm really happy to be in the position I'm in, and a lot of it wouldn't be possible if I hadn't been there for that time.
Do you ever think that, like WrestleMania pre-show against Neville, it not making the DVD, stuff like that, does that really, does that bother you at all? Because great match, should have maybe been on the main card or stuff like that. Does stuff like that get to you at all, or you just kind of brush that off and just, look at the positives?
Again, like, so as far as the kickoff show, the main show, like, listen, I was grateful to be there. There's a lot of people that are going to be very good at what they do that will never get the opportunity to walk down that stage. Kickoff show, main show, post show the next day, you know what I'm saying? So, like, from that standpoint, I got to walk out there in front of 60, 70,000 people. There was a validation for everything I've done to this point in my career to say, you are good enough to walk down this stage, you deserve to walk down this stage. And so there's that part of it that I look at it from that perspective. On the other perspective, when I looked at it from, we're trying to raise yet and elevate the 205 Live brand, I thought they could have made a huge statement by putting us in a more important part of the card, because I knew we were going to deliver. And I thought we had one of the best storylines that had been given the most time to develop of anybody on really the whole roster. And while not everyone can make the main card, it's impossible. I understand that. I thought that there was an opportunity that they could have done, because nobody expected us. Listen, everyone expected we were going to be on the kickoff show. I mean, that was, and so I thought they could have made a statement by saying, you know what, we're going to give you guys a little more of a spotlight. But, all in all, like, it didn't bother me. Like, I understood it. Like I can have my opinion from a business standpoint, what would have been more effective. At the end of the day, we got to go out there for 20 minutes and do something we love to do at the highest level in front of 60,000 people. So, again, everything's not black and white. And as far as not being on the DVD, I don't know why it wasn't. I wasn't aware that it wasn't until I had to tweet about the DVD, and then realized that I wasn't even on the DVD I was about to tweet about. And I was trying to think of a witty and sarcastic way to think of how would I promote a DVD that I probably should be on, but I'm not on. But there was no, like, I wasn't, like, really angry about it. It was just, that was what I just said to you, that one of the best matches of the night was on the DVD. Now, in my opinion, like, that's not a false statement, but that certainly wasn't any catalyst for my unhappiness or bitching and moaning about anything. I'm a little perplexed why, when you have this many hours of footage on a DVD, why this 20-minute match didn't make it, but whatever. It's how it is, right? Like, I think that one got really overblown, but there were a lot of things that left me kind of scratching my head when it comes down to how the entire division was handled. When you tell me that this is important, we want to make this a brand, we want this to tour, we want this to merchandise, that sounds good, but a lot of the actions didn't necessarily match up to that.
Very, very confusing with 205 Live, because they wanted to start touring and branding it, making it big. So, why wouldn't you give it a bigger platform? Why wouldn't you really try to push it? It's almost like they're not really trying to push it. It's almost like ass backwards, the way that they do things up there.
again, like I don't know all the factors behind the scenes. I felt that there was opportunities, and I know I certainly pitched ideas and opportunities that I thought would have helped raise the elevation of the brand in general, not just myself, but just overall the perception of the 205 Live roster, just interacting more with other superstars and things of that sort. So, but again, hey, listen, I know that having an opinion doesn't always do you any favors, but I'm someone who takes I take pride in my work. I'd like to think that what I have between my ears is every much a reason that I've been able to sustain some level of success as any of my other attributes. So I have my opinions, but at the end of the day, I don't get paid to make decisions. So, and that's all I can do is offer opinions, but the decisions ultimately are someone else's hands.